Kane, Spinorama scores! Patrick Kane! Oh dear. Outlet pass for Rick Nash. Nash now tries to flip to the fence and walk in. Nice move. Another nice move. He scored. What a goal. It doesn't get any better than this.
As he plays to the point, instead, he works his way back free. Granlund fires, score!
Hello and welcome to the Puck Drops Here podcast. I'm your host, John Crawford, along with my brother Howie here for episode 32 of the Puck Drops Here. Take two. Because of the phone.
I had to take it.
Oh.
It was from my destination, so I had to take it.
All right. Well, that's not going to happen again.
It could have been a job.
They have to wait till the show's over. All right. So here we are, episode number 32. Another week closer to the playoffs. We've got, at least my team has one full week of hockey left. And I'll tell you, it's going to be a rough week for me. How about
my only concern with Minnesota is that because they're on this winning streak right now.
Yeah.
It's.
Do you think it's too early? I don't.
I
don't. This is the time. They need to start the peak now.
Yeah, but it still worries me.
Well, we're gonna go through my Kings week, and I have made a prediction, and I put it over here real lightly so you can't see it. What I think is going to be the result of all this week.
Okay.
What else has been going on? I know you're finishing up all your final things for your big move.
Yep, I'm beginning to get packed up, and I turned in my notices of resignation to my works. So my last day of work will be the 15th at 4 a.m. in the morning. And I shall be leaving for my destination on Sunday the 17th.
Wow.
Which I still have not told Mother yet of my...
Nice. Yeah, she's going to be real happy with you, Howie.
Yeah, no, I'm going to have to hear the lecture. And
Yeah.
Your family's here, and why the place I'm going to is so crappy, and blah, 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 blah. It's like...
That's the phone call I have every week with Mom. You're so far away.
It's like you can't outweigh where I'm going compared to this place. I'm sorry, you can't.
Believe me, I understand. I do.
I mean, she always tries to play the whole factor of family.
Yeah, I know.
Which, I understand that, but she's got to realize too is that we never see each other. I mean, I live here with Mom being, with Mom and our three other brothers all within a fairly decent driving distance.
Yeah.
But I never see them.
Yeah. I know. You can always Skype with them.
You see Mom just as much as I do, and you're 3,000 miles away.
Well, I see you more than anybody.
Right.
I see you every week right here.
Right. And as far as our other brothers, I never talked to them. I mean, it's been 2 years since I've talked to Jim. Mm-hmm. Last time I talked to Mike, I was still married. So you're talking, 2006, 2007.
Wow. It's been that long,
since I talked to Mike.
Jeez.
And Gary was probably, I don't know, it's a while.
You need to contact your brothers and say hi.
I got too much going on, and it's just,
So do I. But you gotta reach out. I mean, I know that they can. The phone works both ways, but
right.
Somebody's
right, and that's been one thing that has kind of always pissed me off because, like, when I lived in Minnesota before, back in the day,
yeah, I remember.
No one ever called me.
I did.
No. I'm talking about that.
Okay.
No one ever called me. It always had to be my initiative to reach out.
Right.
It's like I got tired of it. It's like I'm not going to do it anymore.
Okay.
I'm done.
All right. Howie's rant, the family rant.
Well, it's like only once I get going on something, it's cool.
Well, the weekend is here for me. And you could see Chart is with us again. And he's donning a King's outfit today.
Yeah, I see that.
I know. And I thought, well, Chart, you might upset Howie.
Kind of the classic Kings thing there.
Yeah. I thought, when we had the conversation, I thought maybe he would get you upset because he comes out here and all of a sudden he's over here in this studio. But he said that, I told him he has to have a team to root for the playoffs.
Oh, I see.
Right. So he goes, well, wait. He says, when I go back out, I'll root for Minnesota. I'll just go from place to place, and I'll root for the Kings here and root for Minnesota out there.
You just gave it away.
Okay, so we're moving on. I can bleep that part out real easy.
You just gave it away.
No, I won't, because I'll bleep it out. I'll bleep it out. So he'll don that over there. So here he is. He's following the Kings this week for me. For this week, he's following them. So there you go. Hockey news, Howie. Let's move into hockey news.
Only hockey news I have. It's not really news.
Lucky.
It's not really news. It's more like a little factoid that shot across NHL.com alert thing. If you have that on your phone.
Yep.
I guess this will be it'll be the first time since 1970 a Canadian team is not qualified for the playoffs.
That's crazy.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't not believe there's not going to be a Canadian team in the playoffs. I know the season hasn't ended yet, but if you look at the standings right now, it doesn't look possible. It is not going to be possible for a Canadian team.
It's like I didn't even notice that. It's just
I didn't either. It's sad. I'm kind of mad at myself for not noticing that. There will not be a Canadian team in the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's kind of sad. It's really sad. And another little tidbit, since you're on those little tidbits, is the last time that a Canadian team won the Stanley Cup was in 1993, Howie, the Montreal Canadiens. So it's been a long time since Canada's had, a team. And they had such a potential this year with Montreal.
What year did you say?
1993.
Oh, yeah, Montreal. Oh, and when they beat the Kings.
Shut up. I wasn't even going to mention that.
Shut up.
Yeah.
God. That was almost a...
that was the same year I got to talk to Jimmy Fox. Yeah. All right, we won't go into that either. That's another show.
Starstruck.
Yeah. Okay, we won't get into that. That was hilarious. But that was the same year.
Was it?
Yeah, that was the same year. We were over at Gary's place when that happened. You remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Some other hockey news, Howie, we have is...
I'm sure Jimmy remembers that.
oh, I'm sure he does. He probably laughs about it like we do. And some other hockey news that we have, Howie, is we want to wish a happy birthday to Mr. Hockey himself, Gordie Howe. Has turned 88 this week.
Happy birthday to you, sir.
Yeah. And so now, I think we should move into, unless you have some other hockey news. Let's.
No. Well, I guess the only other thing I had was that article I forwarded to you in regards to expansion.
Oh yeah.
I guess now the new little rumor mill that's going on is the potential of Carolina being a suitor for Quebec. So we would actually have one expansion team and one
team moving, right?
Yeah,
right.
one location. So that could be interesting. But I would think, I would think before Carolina moved, I would think they'd move Florida. Because, like I said,
and they've got to be in the red.
The games are played too late.
This is like the third week in a row we've mentioned that.
It is. The games are just too late for that fan base out there. You got to have them like at 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Before the street lights come on.
Oh man. Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. So let's move into the current situation in the playoffs. And the East.
We have one full solid week left.
Full solid week left.
Next Saturday, the 9th, will be the last day.
Right, and you look at the East is so wide open.
Yeah, there's still a lot of movement.
Except for Washington, So Washington is the only team that's locked into any of this, and everything else is just anything can happen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say, looking at the East, I would say anything could happen within the current teams that are set there. The only team I see right now that's on the bubble that could actually move in there is Detroit. I think New Jersey.
True, but I mean, I'm talking about like home ice and
right.
There's a lot of things that are up in the air here.
Home ice matchups. I mean, right now everyone's so close. There's still a lot of room for movement.
Right.
And then Detroit still is
just outside that bubble, and we're talking just outside that bubble.
Right. They're right there where they could squeeze in and knock someone out.
Right. So real quickly, let me kind of just go through starting in the East in the Atlantic. You have Tampa Bay, Florida, and Boston in that order right now. Tampa Bay and Florida are tied. And in the Metropolitan, you have Washington, New York Rangers, and Pittsburgh. Washington is already in. They're
not going to move.
They're not going to move.
They're locked where they're at.
They're locked, right. They've got home ice through the playoffs. And then in the wild card slots currently are the New York Islanders and Philadelphia Flyers in that order, with Detroit. I can't even say with Detroit just outside the bubble.
Right.
All right. I think New Jersey's done. Carolina's done. Ottawa's done. Montreal. Look at Montreal. And look at where all those Canadian teams are outside.
Because I mean,
way
you look
outside
at
the
it, I
bubble.
mean, even right now, mathematically, you could have the Rangers knocked out of the playoffs
Mathematically, you can. Yes.
with 1 week left. You could have the Rangers knocked out, which would be nice.
But the likelihood of that is no.
It's not going to happen. But yeah, I mean, they could still end up being a wild card.
Right. Right. So the East is, as far as the home ice stuff and who's, that's really all up in the air.
Yeah, Washington's got home ice locked up throughout.
Yep.
Regardless.
Yeah. So, wow, it's going to be a crazy week. It's going to be a crazy week, especially in that division.
It's going to, yeah. It will.
So, and every day, I guarantee you, there's going to be great games on television. So watch them, people, because this is when it really happens. This is it. All right, Howie, let's do the West, because this one, once you get through this, then I want to break down
hold on.
one.
Going back to the East.
Yeah.
As of right now, of everyone that's in there, excluding Washington, because they're locked.
Right.
If you had to pick,
yeah,
the one team that's in this scenario of who will not make the playoffs, who would you pick right now?
I will pick Philadelphia.
I would go with Philadelphia too.
Yeah. But is Philadelphia better than Detroit? I'm really starting to believe that what you see right here is what you'll see next week when the playoffs start.
It's very possible. It's very possible.
Yeah. And Detroit will be out. Which makes me happy. I'm not a big Detroit.
Yeah. Sorry, Andy.
Yeah, sorry, Andy.
I get the gardeners coming by now.
Yeah, I hear them. All right, let's move into the West, Howie. And like I say, once you get through this, I want to break down a couple of the teams here that are making me. It's going to be a hard week for me.
Yeah, in the West, you got all the divisional teams are pretty much.
Yeah.
I want it more or less locked in.
Right.
There's still going to be some movement.
Yeah.
Starting in the Central, you got Dallas and St. Louis. They're both tied right now for first, with Chicago third for 95 points. So there, it's just going to be a battle of home ice and who's got to play Chicago.
Right.
I mean, Dallas, St. Louis. I mean, they're basically identical.
Yep.
I mean, if
they
you
are
have to go by who's playing hot right now, I have to go with St. Louis.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at this point, I'm going to go with St. Louis winning the division, Dallas playing Chicago. That'll be my pick, but who knows?
That's right.
In the Pacific, we have, surprisingly, I still don't understand what happened, how this happened.
Right.
Because they were so horrible at the start of the season, which was nice to see.
Right.
But now you have Anaheim in first in the Pacific with 96 points, followed by LA at 95 and San Jose with 92.
Right.
Here, I mean, San Jose could still win the division mathematically.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to happen. It's going to be between Anaheim and LA, right?
Okay. Right here. This is where I want to talk about a little bit, because this week is going to be just terrible for me. And looking at, and I was going through the schedule.
Of both or just LA?
Of both. This is the week. This is going to be my week this week.
Okay.
Starting with tonight.
Well, here, don't tell me who you pick. You tell me the schedules day by day, and
okay. So tonight,
let's see if I get the same result as you.
okay. So tonight, Calgary plays at L.A.
Hold on.
Write it down quickly.
Okay, so Calgary at LA.
Yep.
Okay.
On Friday, that's tomorrow, Vancouver at Anaheim.
Okay.
On Saturday, Dallas plays in L.A. On Sunday, Dallas plays in Anaheim. On Monday, L.A. plays in Vancouver. On Tuesday, Winnipeg plays in Anaheim. Wednesday, I'm using some Rogaine, trying to get some hair back. They're both off. On Thursday, Anaheim plays L.A.
Where?
At L.A.
At LA.
Not that really matters.
Well,
At L.A.
It does matter.
Okay.
It does matter.
Friday, they are off, and this is Friday the 8th.
Okay.
On Saturday, Anaheim plays in Colorado, and Winnipeg plays in L.A. And then on Sunday, Anaheim plays Washington. All right, this is how I see things happening.
Okay. Well, from what I'm looking at
Yeah.
is what you see right now. I see Anaheim winning it by 1 point.
Okay. That is my prediction also. Only because I see them both kind of staying where they're at all the way up until Thursday's game. So Anaheim should stay with all this stuff going on. I've predicted them to be about the same. Anaheim still 1 point ahead going into Thursday's game when they play each other. If the Kings win this game, that will put the Kings ahead by 1 point. But here's what happens. Anaheim.
I see the two big games for LA that week. The one against Anaheim,
and
obviously,
Dallas.
and Dallas.
Yeah.
Those are the two big games.
Yes.
I have them losing to Dallas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had them losing to Dallas, but winning that Thursday game.
That's how I saw it.
Okay, and then Winnipeg, then Anaheim plays in Colorado, and Winnipeg plays L.A. I see both of these teams winning that day, L.A. and Anaheim, but then Anaheim losing in Washington, which, if that scenario happens, the Kings win the division by 1 point. If the Kings lose to Winnipeg, then they'll lose the division by 1 point.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I have Anaheim win by 1.
There you go.
I think
It's going to be a terrible week for me. I'm going to be going crazy all week.
Yeah, because LA has to, if they could beat.
They have to beat Dallas. They have to beat Dallas.
Yeah, if they could beat Dallas and they beat Anaheim, they'll wrap up the division.
Well, they really need to go on a little streak here. They really need to pull it together and go on a little streak. You know, they've got to go into Vancouver and they got to beat Vancouver. Because the Kings have a tendency to go into these places where teams don't play well and play like crap. And then, you know, teams like Vancouver will beat them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it'll be interesting. And then as far as the wild card goes in the West, right now we have Nashville with 91 points and Minnesota with 87 points.
yeah.
Nashville can take over third place in the Central. They're only 4 points back of Chicago, but I don't see that really happening. I think the Central is pretty much those top three. I think are going to be your top three: Dallas, St. Louis, and Chicago. Minnesota just needs to stay on this win streak. They've won 6 in a row now. They just got to keep playing hot and stay ahead of Colorado.
Yeah. Which
the only
they've with this little win streak they've really built up a little pad there though. It's kind of yeah.
The only question is for me is who will Minnesota play, Dallas or St. Louis? If it's the way I'm seeing it, we'll end up playing St. Louis in the first round.
That's tough.
Which then goes back to, will St. Louis continue their first round choking that they've been doing the last 2-3 seasons where they
a totally different team in the playoffs, right?
And they just completely fall apart.
Right.
That'll be the big question. Although, as far as I think intensity goes, I'd like to see him play Dallas, because I think that we've never played Dallas in the playoffs before, and I think that would just build up on what rivalry is already there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I hate to play any of those teams, but
I know. Stuff. I don't know who I want to play in the playoffs.
I think for me, with Minnesota, I think the team that scares me the most playing in the playoffs is Anaheim. For some damn reason, we just cannot play well against Anaheim.
Well, Anaheim could be that sleeper team. All of a sudden, they're just they're a pain in the butt is what they are.
And I'd like to see. I mean, if we end up getting by that first round and Chicago gets by there, it would be nice to finally knock Chicago out of the playoffs after these last 3 damn times that we played them and they knocked us out.
Right.
I mean, the one good note going in is that Minnesota swept Chicago in the series 5-0.
Right.
In the season, which was very nice to see. I guess it's the first time too that Chicago's been swept in a series since it's been eons. I don't remember what year they said, but it's been eons. Yes, it's been eons since the last time they've lost a regular season series to anyone, or they were swept.
Wow. Well, Howie, I think we're gonna have to wrap it up here. But we do have some big shows coming up, because we do have our prediction shows coming up for the playoffs, and we do have our 100th episode coming up, which we need to sit down and plan and figure out what we're doing. Also, we'd like to thank everybody who's listening and watching the show. Go out to our website at www.thepuckdropshere.com, and you can check out all our past episodes and current episodes out on our podcast page, along with if you go to our podcast page or on our main page, you can see a logo for Hockey Talk Radio. If you click on that, the player will pop up, and you can hear us on Hockey Talk Radio, along with many other different hockey-related programs on there. It's awesome. Give us a like on Facebook. Send us a tweet. There's Lucky. Hey, bud. We're on Instagram. Send us an email. Where are we at? Jon and Howie at thepuckdropshere.com.
We're all over the place.
Yeah, we are all over the place. And we want to just thank you all for listening and watching our show. And this is the last week of the season, folks. You need to be watching, because it's going to be really exciting coming down to the wire. There's a lot of things up for grab here, home ice and whatnot. So we will see you all next week. Enjoy the games. We bid you all adieu.
Farewell.